Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Blrd podcast. This is episode 134, and today we have our four lovely panelists. We have myself, Creamcast. We have also Bandito.
Yes.
We have Green Tuner.
Here.
Hello.
And we have Darkside.
What up, baby? Number one, the main character. What else does he say?
Hater, hate.
Haters
of
gonna
hate.
Here.
Number one.
I'm
And
fast.
every time Ed gets on a platform, he's like smacking people away. He
Yeah.
cannot just stand alone without having to smack down the immediate like just people going after him. So yeah, where is the Ed Underground? Speaking of which,
We don't know.
the main character. The main character
of the Blrd podcast. He's obviously not around. He did message us at the 11th hour, saying that he was going to be here, but we know that was a mistake on Siri's part, never Ed's part. So he's gallivanting across whatever unknown suburbs looking for his next victim. But yeah, unfortunately, the Ed Underground won't be with us tonight.
Papa needs a new coat.
Yeah, he needs a new coat. Absolutely. Our OG members will absolutely know where that's from. But yeah, unfortunately, the main character is not here. So, us peons have to carry on his legacy. But it's all good. Yeah, I mean he's a baby bat bitch, but it's all good. It's all good. Yeah. So how you guys been? We missed last week's episode, mainly because of myself. I was actually traveling across the United States, so unfortunately was not able to stream as I wanted to. I had some late night engagements to take care of. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, you
I
doing
noticed
big things.
there's a lot of chaos in your wake. You were recently in Puerto Rico, and now there's
Yes.
a hurricane situation happening.
Yeah, I mean, coincidence? I don't know. I mean, I went to Puerto Rico.
Weather manipulation.
Yeah.
False flag events.
Yeah.
Inside jobs.
All of that. All of the above. All the above.
Yep.
Illuminati.
Flat Earth.
Flat Earth. Yeah, Flat Earth. Dude, like it was getting kind of serious.
I don't know what you said, but Black Girl's Hack is in the chat, says lies. This is something you had mentioned earlier, probably.
Oh, because I was doing, I had some late night engagements, but in reality, Black Girls Hack was hosting a cyber conference, and I was help volunteering for that and giving my physical and moral support. So that's what I was busy with. Unfortunately, I could not make it in time for the podcast, but yeah, it was a really great event.
Another COVID outbreak in Vegas, she says.
Yes,
another disaster in your wake.
Yes, because apparently me and only me, I apparently am freeballing the air in Vegas. So I am literally, raw dog in the air. Absolutely.
You're raw dogging people's lungs out there.
Yeah, right.
Coughing in their face.
Like you take that libtard. Like, yeah, I was because for Republicans, we don't believe COVID is a real thing. COVID was obviously manufactured lies from the other side. So yeah,
you mean the China virus?
the
China virus was a deep state conspiracy
what it is?
Funded by the Soros Corporation.
Yeah,
everyone knows that.
Yeah, it was the Kung Flu. Yes, all of that, all of the above. Yeah, so I'm solely responsible for COVID absolutely destroying and wrecking Las Vegas. So
runs, what they call it.
Yeah, this was a canon event. apparently. So any COVID mishaps that happen, any deaths that happen is solely my responsibility, according to Black Girls Hack. But you know, neither here nor there. I am now safely away from Las Vegas, and able to stream and do all that stuff for the
reigning future terror in another location to soon
no,
to be disclosed. Soon to be disclosed. Watch the news for more.
watching it.
Yeah.
Like, dun, 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 breaking news. Yeah, obviously I am a dragon level threat. If you guys watch One Punch Man, you would get that reference. But yeah, I'm obviously a huge threat. Um, and then what Black Girls Hack says, yeah, I did in fact raw dog the air, and we know
Yep,
Kamala
confirmed.
was there last week too, so it was a Republican plot. Yes, obviously I am an assassin, Trump 2024 or Kanye West 2024. Well, it's not. He doesn't go by Kanye
You
West. He goes
were
Ye.
the what's it called, the biowarfare division. What are they calling the biological warfare division?
Yeah.
Like for
Yeah.
Trump, it was like just a bullet, but with Kamala, it has to be through chemical means, through the
Right.
fucking
Yeah, right. It's like, oh,
the
there's a black.
airborne pathogens.
Yeah, there's a black guy that's gonna go. He's obviously going to be able to get close to Kamala. They're gonna let their guard down for a black guy, and yes, coughing, and yeah, smelling. I'm like,
Is Kanye running again?
absolutely not. He is
In
not.
his mind, or in reality.
Oh no, only posted West 2024. So I don't know if he lost his
he's got
marbles
his fans.
and ran again.
He's got his fans.
Yeah, I don't
the
think
man's
Kanye.
around.
Yeah, I don't think Kanye's actually running, but
Yeah.
I mean, I'll vote for him. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, tell me
I'm
one
sure
thing.
I'm sure he's on the
Dude,
ballot
that'd be
somewhere.
the sleekest Air Force One we'll ever have in the air. Everything will be super minimalistic when you go inside.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't tell you guys. I got the latest Kanye creation
Of course you did. Of
of
course.
Yeah.
slippers, the Kanye pods. I got me a pair of Kanye
They're
pods.
still releasing.
Yeah, I think he's still putting them out. I know at one point
whom?
he did close the store because he was getting so many orders that at the end of the day he couldn't keep up with it. It took I said me and Black Girls Hack. It took us about 4 or 5 months to get our Yeezy pods. At that point, Black Girls Hack didn't really want it. She's like, if you're buying something for you, you need to buy it for me. So I bought her a pair. Don't think she's worn the pair more than one time just to try them on. But yeah, it was. I got my Yeezy pod, so I am 100% for Yay 2024. I'm down for that 100%. So,
So these things, they just look like socks, right?
yeah, they're socks and they have like these
Just
rubber
socks with little pads
soles.
on them.
Yeah, they have socks with pads.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
think of like like thick like knee-high socks with pads in the bottom of it. And I'm not Black Girls Hack says they're dumb, but they do feel kind of comfortable. I'm not gonna lie, they're a little comfortable. But the thing is like if it's not the perfect fit, you kind of just slip and slide.
This is copium. This is copium.
Yeah, I'm looking at them.
There's nothing more
I gotta agree
comfortable
with
than racism,
Black
right?
Girl Hack here.
As soon as you put them on, you're like, juice.
You do.
Oh, yeah.
The spirit of Yay
Makes
does
you
come over you.
anti-Semitic.
Yeah, like you get really mad at a certain individual group of people.
Group of people,
Yeah. Like we're not gonna say who, but yeah, it might rhymes with twos. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
all right.
But yeah, yeah. Outside of that, I'm glad to be back. I'm glad that we're back. So do you guys have you guys done anything cool in the past 2 weeks?
Well,
I
I
know
took a
someone
trip.
went to watch a certain cinematic masterpiece by the king of suspense,
The King of the
M. Night
Twist.
Shyamalan.
Oh
Yes,
yes,
King of the
yes.
Twist.
Yeah.
King of the
I did
Twist.
see.
Dark Side.
I did see. What was it? Trap.
Trap.
I did see Trap.
Trap.
And I will not. I will recommend you watch it on streaming. It's not his finest hour,
Oh,
but
You don't say.
No.
but you
What
know
a
what? I
shocker.
say this about Shyamalan. All right, I say this. about
Shyamalan's
Shyamalan.
not living up to
Yeah.
his to
His-
what everyone expects.
His unlimited potential. Like I'll say this: the man comes up with great ideas for movies. He just
What
can't.
are your Shyamalan picks though? Like what are your
He
ones
can't
that you do like?
execute.
Unbreakable is number one.
Okay.
Unbreakable is number one. Signs would be up there.
Mhm.
Sixth Sense, obviously, but I think it's,
Obviously.
obviously it's up
I
there.
think Signs would be number one for me.
Yeah, Signs
I
and
mean, but they're
Unbreakable go back and forth.
interchangeable because Unbreakable is amazing.
Yeah, and what's that one with the fuck?
Split.
Split.
The Village?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, Split.
But
The
yeah,
Village.
I like The Village. I will tell you right now.
Actually-
I'll put it up front. I'm a M Night
I was okay with The
apologist.
Village.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm an apologist for sure.
Yeah.
What
But
about
I
the
mean,
one with the Lady in the Water?
I like
right?
The Lady in the Water.
Shyamalan too?
Yeah,
That was
but
boring.
it was boring, and it was
Yeah.
very like he verges on very self-indulgent, and his cameos get more and more in your face, and I'm like, he's got to stop
Right.
inserting himself as a main
Some
character.
of them, he literally just walks towards the frame like, "Hey."
Well, in Lady in the
Yeah.
Water, he's the writer who saves like the world.
Oh
is he?
Lord, yes,
Oh,
I forgot that was
wow.
extremely.
I haven't seen it.
So
I think that's what made me hate it. Now that I remember.
wait, so hold on.
Spoiler alerts, by the way. Jeez.
Right.
Yeah, for a movie that's
in
like
Trap,
super old.
Okay.
in Trap, he also has a very self-indulgent cameo, and
You see the lead singer of the band.
the most
Yeah.
self-indulgent
That was
thing
hilarious.
is his daughter is one of the main characters. She's the actor. She's the singer that the concert is taking place.
Oh
she's
hell
movie.
yeah,
Okay.
Nepo
And-
baby,
Nice.
baby.
Oh,
love
big
it.
time, big time. And I was like, okay, and you know what? I'm not gonna hate on her. She like her music sounds good, and like it feels real, and it's all her real music. So props to her.
Yeah, I mean, does she
But
have
it
a good
definitely-
performance?
Yeah. I mean, but and then she, at like towards the end of the movie, she has a big part in the movie that comes out of nowhere. So it definitely feels like there's a lot of nepotism in there. It just rolls right out of his self-indulgence in his previous movies. So he doesn't have like I wish he held back a little bit and was a little more subtle with things. But yeah, like I said, I'll watch the next two movies because the trailers and the concept will be bangers. I'll guarantee it. But they will not deliver. Like I'm just saying, whatever he comes up with next will also be a banger. Like the idea of this movie that like their concert is an elaborate trap to catch a serial killer. Right. And like,
So
let's
that's
endanger
so
all these civilians.
Yeah, that sounds really crazy.
Yeah. And like when you expect certain things to happen, and how did they plan this, and how the inner workings of this trap are happening. It does let you down. That's all I'll say. Yeah, it's definitely a Netflix. Like if you want to throw something on Friday night, a couple months from now, I'd say check it out.
Oh well, Black Girl's Hat brought up. She said, "What about Glass and Split? Chef's kiss, type of situation. What do you guys think about
Number
that?
one. My
said
number one's Unbreakable. Yeah, my
that's
number one's
that's part of
Unbreakable.
it.
So
for sure is
Split,
number one.
Split
was
was
good.
like amazing.
Split
And Glass, I'm a Glass apologist too.
Split was
So
okay.
fuck you.
No, Split was great.
Split was good. What are you
Split was
talking
really
about?
Split was great.
Split was great.
Capital
Yes.
G, baby.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah, no, Split was great.
Split.
Now, Glass,
Wait. Green Tuner, are you confusing Split and Glass? Maybe
No, Glass is the one where they're
in the asylum.
Special asylum with secret people.
And
that one sucked too.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Split is
well,
with the guy that kidnaps the girls and eats them.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah, all right.
I mean,
Mr. Latida cinephile here. I forgot. I forgot who we're dealing with here.
He's like,
he's slumming it up with us.
You know
Commons.
what? Yeah, you know what he likes.
Fucking Split.
You know, in his free time, he just sits there and watch Schindler's List and be like, God, you see a tear just roll down his face, like this is cinematic beauty and so forth. Can probably
I watch it in reverse so I can get a good ending.
What is the thing? He's looking for the mise en scène in every scene.
I'm like,
every scene.
Where's the mise en scène?
So
I'm just saying, I personally didn't like it. So, but
all right. Yeah, I would put that in my top 10 of his movies. I guess.
Yeah,
I would put Split in my top 10. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
one of the things I'm not gonna say it's amazing, but I do put it in the top 10 of
I would say it's
Shyamalan's.
great. I wouldn't say
It's
it's
great.
amazing. It's
Amazing.
really it's high up there.
Yeah, I would
It's
say
I
it would
feel
be
like
a
his top.
high.
I feel like M Night Shyamalan's top 10 has some clunkers in it, doesn't it? Like
It does.
It's gonna
It
have
does,
clunkers, yeah,
but I
because I
mean,
don't
it's
think
10
his
movies.
filmography is deep enough.
I'm saying, like, okay.
But the thing is, like,
I mean,
I feel like
yeah,
he only has my top 5, but I
we
don't know.
watched.
I haven't seen all of them.
We reviewed for this podcast the cabin one. A couple months ago.
Oh
Last year.
Lord!
Knock at the cabin. Knock
Oh.
at the door.
yeah, Knock at the Door.
Knock at
Yeah,
the,
I
knock
haven't
at
seen it.
the
I haven't seen it.
Cabin door.
something.
Knock
you
at
haven't seen it?
Yeah. No. I think I was missing for that one.
It wasn't great. Also, it's an interesting concept, but just doesn't. But he didn't write that one. It was based
No,
on
he
a
didn't.
novel.
Honestly, top 5. I mean, we're all gonna say the top 3 are gonna be like Signs, of course, Sixth Sense, and what's the other
Unbreakable.
one? Unbreakable. But from the rest of those, I mean, I think if we did a top 5, the last 2 would switch between. I don't know if they would be. I would like say something like Split. I think Split it deserves to be in the top 5. And then I don't know what the 5th one can kind of be interchangeable. I think.
No love for
depending.
After Earth here. No love for After Earth. Fucking
After Earth was one of the
Ooh, I forgot
shittiest.
about After Earth.
Wait,
One of
that
the
was
shittiest.
That was M Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, that was M Night.
Yeah,
that
it was.
That
I
was
know,
him.
It didn't
That was
feel.
him doing a
It
big
didn't
studio
feel like a
movie.
Shyamalan movie because it probably was a Will Smith movie. To be
It was a
honest,
Will
He
Smith.
probably
Yeah. He didn't have
90%
a lot
of the
of
script, but
he didn't have a lot of you can tell when he does a script when he makes a movie for someone
Versus
and
when he does it.
he makes
Yeah.
his own movies. There's a
There's a
say what
big
you want. The
difference.
man has passion. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
After
yeah,
Earth
no, I
was
mean,
trash. I mean,
After Earth, yeah, he's got a lot. Like I like The Happening. It got a lot of.
no, Happening was good.
I hate that
I'm
movie.
there with
Holy
Dark
shit,
Side.
I
Actually,
fucking hate that
dude,
movie.
I
believe it or
like
not,
The
I would put
Happening.
The Happening on my
I'm
top 5.
not gonna say it's good. I'm not
gonna
gonna
put it in
go
my
that
top
far.
I
Really?
am.
Yeah, The
because I'm a
Happening.
big fan of those old like
that movie
horror,
offended me.
like corny movies, and that's like right in line with all
Wait,
those.
is The Happening is the one with Mark Wahlberg, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Marky
Oh yeah,
Mark,
that's
yeah.
that's
Oh,
the
the
best.
What do
honeybee.
you mean?
Yeah, that was
What
the
do
top
you mean?
because no one
What's
expected it.
going on?
Because if the thing is like, okay, we're looking at these movies in retrospective, and I think this is what also what Green Turner is doing as well. The movies at the time were great. I think, but when you go afterwards and you look at it, you're like,
people hate it. No, when The Happening came out, it was
I hated The
wild.
Happening. As soon as I saw it,
People hated The Happening when it came out.
Yeah,
wait.
people
Were
were
listen,
furious with The Happening.
What? But
People did not
Bandito,
like The Happening.
do you still hate it now?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So I'm
very
sorry.
much against The Happening.
Your opinion is trash. For The Happening. Green Tuner.
Watch it again. I'm sorry. Have you seen it
I
recently?
like The
No, I haven't
Happening.
seen it. I've seen it once.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Exactly.
I feel like I've seen it 3 years ago, and I didn't think it was
The thing is,
terrible.
The Happening is
you probably
a
weren't watching
B
it.
movie. It's a
I don't think it
legit
was.
like it's a legit like creature feature B movie, right?
There's no
Yeah,
creatures.
it is a
And
B movie.
There's no
that
creatures in it.
No, well, creature is nature.
Well,
right? You can just make it anything.
yes.
They call it, but
Mark
like the other one, right?
Wahlberg.
Like ants, right? Like the Attack of the Giant Ants, whatever.
I think a B movie is correct. That's a good way to.
Because even the
categorize
performances
them.
all around were like very like
Performances
hammy.
are very B movie.
But B movie is a good B movie, right? Like I think of a true B movie.
Hold on.
It's like Sharknado. That's like a true B movie.
My question here is, Green Tuner, do you feel that The Happening was, like, I agree with you. I like it for that reason, too. Do you believe that that was his intention, or he just made a shitty movie and we all just ended up liking it?
No, I think his
intended
intention was
to make
a good movie. No, I think he intended to make a good movie, but the outcome was something that I really liked. I think if he had achieved what he actually wanted, I don't know how it would have come out. Maybe it would have been another Lady in the Water or something. I don't know. But yeah, I don't think he was purposely trying to make a bad B movie.
Wait, I thought Lady in the Water...
A good bad B movie, I should say.
Was Lady in the Water? I thought that was Guillermo del Toro.
No, that's him.
No.
That's him.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought so.
A lot of touch. He's got a style we all like. He's got like he draws from shit we like.
Well,
he ideas we like.
Sure. the concept.
The trailers are great. Yeah.
Right.
The concepts, the trailers, the ideas,
the execution is just never.
Like if he could work with, let's say, Guillermo del Toro, which would be wild. I think that would benefit him having someone that has more experience, maybe kind of fleshing things out. I think he doesn't really flesh things out when it's just him writing.
I think he needs support on the writing piece for sure. But
or
not
just
always.
have someone like go over and like put dialogue or something.
Okay, what you guys? Okay, so really quick, what you guys think about Old? Do you guys like that?
I didn't see that.
I was fine with it.
I thought
middle of the road.
I thought the concept was interesting, but at the end makes me mad because there are parts of it that I didn't like.
The beginning was interesting when the lady, remember in the cave, the lady's like dying, like twisting up and everything. Like, wow, this is so cool. And then after that, it's like nothing. And then obviously another like self-indulgent thing where M. Night Shyamalan is eating sandwiches and like writing down everything. Like they just have to show him every 15 minutes.
He's just like what's his name? Kill Bill director.
Tarantino.
Oh, Quentin.
Tarantino, Tarantino always does that shit. And whether it's from Dusk Till Dawn and he's getting, foot shots from Salma Hayek to, saying the N-word as many times possible.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, that's like a very good, like, he's a better writer and he's conscious of his own cameos. I don't know. I don't know how M. Night does that. I don't know how M. Night processes like this is the character I'm going to be, because there's some characters I'm like, why would you be that character? But
yeah.
Wasn't
he the guy that killed the wife in Signs?
Yeah, there's a lot of yes.
He was the driver that killed the wife.
Of
course.
It's very odd. Like if I was a director and like he gets his inspiration, he talked about this. He likes like Hitchcock did it, so he's like that's where he gets his inspiration. But like, and I don't watch enough Hitchcock movies to know like how in it Hitchcock he did cameo in his own movies, but like I don't know if he was like the guy who killed the main character's wife. You know what I mean? So,
he's starting himself that much. Yeah, like Black Girl's Hack. She said she was thinking of Stan Lee.
Yeah,
but I feel like that cameo was a little bit different.
Stan Lee is not. It's like Stanley's not wanting to do it. They're like begging and pleading, and they're like, and when he's in it,
to be in.
They want him to be in it, and everyone loves it when he's in it, and like the cameos
because he's always like a wink.
Actually,
right? It's just like hey,
Stanley wrote into his
like,
contract where they sold Marvel Studios, whatever, that he had to appear in every movie. It was a contractual thing. Yeah,
I didn't know
he
that.
wrote into the contract.
I know that.
Yeah, they just made it seem like, fans want it. No, he actually wrote that shit into the contract. Do you think they want to pay Stanley just for a dumb cameo? No, he wrote into the contract to Marvel, and so that's why they had to keep putting him on all the things, unless he declined. But in Stanley's defense is his cameos would be like the security guard who would appear for half a second, or maybe in Spider-Man who would be with a girl for 1 second.
Sure.
Not
super inconsequential.
Yeah, Shyamalan, where he's like in there for at least a solid 15 minutes. You know what I mean?
He's a scientist. Like, I'm actually in charge of this entire program, and what happens is like, the fuck? Like, put someone else in that role. M. Night Devil. That was Is that one of his?
Yeah.
That was
Devil was his.
Now that was a wonderful movie. That ending was great. I will say it's complete bullshit. Anybody here said, "Oh, I knew it was the old lady the entire time." And I was like, "You're full of shit." No one knew it was the old lady that was the devil the entire time.
I knew it was the old lady because
massive spoilers.
Trailer.
This is like 20 years.
I know, but I remember I saw some trailer somewhere, and in the trailer they showed the fucking lady with the demon voice, and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
So then when I saw the movie, I'm like, "All right, what the hell? Why did they show that shit on the trailer?" So it wasn't like I figured it out. It's just they showed that in a snippet
you're
of the
right.
trailer. I was
waiting for that
furious
moment
that they
happen.
showed it.
Yeah. Because I'm like, I was thinking that it would happen during the movie, but it would be like maybe a hallucination or something. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
It was her, but it was like at the very end. It's like, oh, it was her. Okay, well.
Yeah.
Okay. But I do feel like I feel like I remember enjoying that movie though. So Yeah,
I enjoyed. I love that
if
movie.
the
That was a
trailer
great
wasn't
movie.
spoiled for me, I would have enjoyed it more. I think.
Yeah,
yeah,
Or
it was a great
the
movie.
twist.
The twist at the
Yeah.
end. All right.
Yeah.
Well, all right. We spent a lot of time talking about M. Night Shyamalan and glazing his
Yeah.
his discography. And yeah, I know there's a raging war going on about. Only Toes did ask a very important question to the Ed Underground. Something that for our main title, main review for today, if the Ed Underground watched Batman Cape Crusader, does he even have Amazon Prime? And hey, that's to remain to be seen. Ed will say
We don't
that
know
he
yet.
watched it, but you never know about these things. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Hey, this is the first time. Okay, this is the first time
The
that's
first time
happened.
it's ever happened,
Always
guys.
watches everything.
Every
Yeah,
time.
for sure. Yeah.
All right,
When
so
does he miss it? He challenges you.
Yeah, he'll never. Yeah, and if you do tell him something that he missed, well, that's the first time. Let's go to another time.
Yeah, that'll be the
So. Yeah, that'll be the first time.
Yeah.
So let's jump into some of the news that we missed in the past 2 weeks. Bandito or Darkside. I know you guys had some topics you wanted to
Yeah.
discuss.
Oh well.
Oh yeah.
You want to hit that Borderlands thing? Talk about some Borderlands. Did anyone here watch it?
No.
No.
Yeah, no.
We were okay. We were supposed to. We were originally going to review it, right?
Yeah.
And like the heavens interceded,
Yeah.
and Creamcast was delayed for a
Yes.
week.
Main character
And,
vibes, baby. Main character. If I'm not here, the show doesn't happen. The real main character.
Main character vibes.
Main character
Yeah,
vibes.
because of
I
the
thought we had
Creamcast.
Borderlands. That is just like there's nothing else to watch, so let's watch Borderlands. That was the
Yo,
original
Green
plan.
Tuner.
All I
Tuner,
know
shut
was
the fuck up.
we seemingly dodged a bullet, like whizzed past our ear.
Really.
We dodged a big time bullet here.
Yeah, we're trying to be like, yeah, we missed the bullet. Green Turner's like, we weren't really caring to watch it anyways. Like, shut the fuck. No, we were so excited, guys. We really wanted to see this.
We were very excited.
Yeah, we're big Borderlands fans here, and Kevin Hart and Kate Blanchett.
Like the game.
I love the.
I know, I love the game. I'm talking about like the characters. Like, oh man, I love Kate Blanchett and I love Kevin Hart.
Oh yeah, Kevin Hart. Those guys. The only character anyone knows from Borderland is what's his name, the little thing.
Like Claptrap?
Like Claptrap.
There you go.
That one.
And that
was Jack Black.
All anyone knows. Yeah.
Jack Black. There you go. Jack Black was
the last time you guys played Borderlands?
A star-studded cast. So wait. Bandito Mac, you were bringing up this. Unfortunately, we weren't able to see Borderlands. Did anything happen? Did it smash all the box office world records?
You know what? It smashed the record for being bad. Unfortunately, one of the lowest openings, earned 9.3 million globally so far.
God. Do you remember what the budget was?
Ooh, you know what?
I think it was like $1 million, right? So they actually made an $8 million profit.
To 145 million.
Yeah, I think you need to add like 2 zeros.
By a little.
Yeah, just a little bit.
By a little bit.
Yeah.
All those big actors took IOUs apparently.
Apparently, like this is not the movie where like you hear about like older movies where people are like, all right, we'll take only 100,000, but we'll just get the residuals. If you got residuals on this movie, you probably would have to owe the studio money at this point.
You know what's sad? There's probably one of these like fucking Jamie Lee Curtis was like, nah, I'll skip check. Give me the residuals, baby.
Yeah, she's like video games. Video game movies are in.
Yeah, her agent was like, "It's Borderlands, it's huge."
Yeah,
this is like that Roblox, right? And the executive guy's like, "Yeah, Roblox,
Roblox, just throwing out big names like Roblox, League of Legends, like Call of Duty, same thing. It's gonna make a lot of money."
Now this movie was like made like again 5 years ago, I believe, and it sat on the
10
shelf.
Years ago. Maybe.
Was it 10 years? I don't know.
No. You said it was made 5 years.
It was definitely made around the pandemic, I think, and they fucking realized it sucked. It was dog shit, and they tried to like fix it, and then they delayed it. They didn't know when to put it out. And anyways, long story short, they snuck this baby out after like 5-6 years of not knowing what to do with it. And turns out there ain't no way to fix it because it got demolished in the reviews. It got demolished by the fans. It got demolished by the movie-going audience. I can't find anyone who liked this movie for any reason in any positive way at all. Like, it has 0%. I think it has like an 8% on Tomatoes.
Have you
9%
looked
right
up
now on
Armand
Tomatoes.
White's
5%
review?
Armand White
What?
Armand White loves this thing. That's all I know.
Who was
I
that?
don't
Who was
even
Armand White?
I don't even
Educate me on this.
This is a fucking deep cut. I don't even know if this man is still alive. He could
I don't know
have
either.
died. He could have died during the pandemic. He was a
Yeah.
snobby New York Times
Super
movie reviewer.
yeah. And he would give movies like The Dark Knight like a 0%.
Zero, yeah.
And movies like I don't know.
Like a bad movie.
Like those like ghost haunted black comedy movies or whatever, just randomly he would
Like he'll
give
give
those
him like 8,
9
Yeah.
stars.
Yeah,
And the reviews, you would read them, I'm like, this is so beautifully written, and he's
Right.
defending why
And
you know,
he's a-
like the
he's a
way in
big
slipping
deal.
on like ghost cum is better than whatever. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
Scary Movie 6 is like the pinnacle of black comedy. Like, you can't get any higher than this. Like, God himself came down and blessed the script.
Yeah.
But then, you'll see the Dark Knight. He's like, I hate his voice. You know, white oppression is taking over Batman. They should have made him black. It's like, what the fuck? Like, dude, we're not on the same planet.
Whoa.
I love
Yeah.
Armand White. Hopefully
Yeah,
he's
he
still
was.
with us.
Yeah, hopefully he's still with us. I really have lost track of him since the pandemic, but
Me too. It's been a while
he
since
was,
I read his
yeah.
reviews.
Every time a movie came out, I would rush to see what he thought. He did not
Me
disappoint.
too. I was
Wow.
obsessed with his opinions.
But yeah, Borderlands is a movie. I kind of have a feeling about when it was done because I'm looking at the little girl. I forgot her name is Ariana Greenblatt. I don't know if she's little anymore, but she was in the movie with Adam Driver for 65, and that movie came out, I believe, in 2023. Yeah, it came out last year, right? So I don't think this movie it was probably a COVID movie, but it's not that far behind. The problem with this movie, from what I'm hearing about all the reviews, I haven't seen it myself, but I was completely shocked that it did so horribly. I didn't think it was going to do this bad.
You're shocked, really?
Yeah,
It's a little shocked.
Shockingly bad. I haven't seen the movie, but this is insane.
I'm shocked that it's so bad because this is a pretty decent cast, right? Like Kate Blanchett is not a D-list actor. You have Kevin Hart. You have what's her name?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
So it's not like these are not like no. It's not like these are D-list actors, unknown actors. These are well-known actors, and the fact that it got so low. But the problem, I think, it really is, this movie is at least, I think, Bandito, you said it. You said 10 years ago, like when this movie came out.
2021 is when it started filming.
Yeah, this movie is about 10 years too late, right? If this movie if this movie would have came out in like 2012, this movie would have been an instant success. Like, this would have been a Hallmark movie, like, as far as video game movies are concerned. But when's the last time a Borderlands game came out?
Depending on the script.
Depending on the script. But the thing about it like this, when was the last time a Borderlands game came out that people were hyped about? Like, I think Tina's Tiny Adventures.
That adventure thing.
Yeah, adventure thing.
Maybe.
But nobody was hyped.
There wasn't any hype behind that.
There was no hype.
That was their last gasp at Borderlands, right?
Content, right?
Well, they had
wasn't that an add-on?
The Telltale game did pretty well, I thought. The Adventures of Handsome Jack.
Yeah, but
that did well.
But Telltale went down the drain, right?
That's like way back. That's years old, right?
Older
that's around the time of like the original.
I don't think it's that old. But the thing is that like you can look at like compare it to Fallout, right? Fallout 76 did really bad, right? People weren't happy with 76 whatsoever. Initially. And then it's gotten better with updates and so forth, and new DLC is coming out for it. But then you look at like I kind of look at Fallout being the same thing as Borderlands. Like, there was a good following back in the day. Now Fallout has been able to keep that because they've been producing new games that people have liked or they hated, and then they eventually loved it. And like Fallout was able to create a series that got pretty good reviews for what it is. I think we all enjoyed it on the podcast. So it was not bad at all. But this movie is just it's just too little, too late. It's one of those movies. It's like some executive had a great idea to make a Borderlands game or a Borderlands movie. I don't think that's a horrible thing to do in of itself because Borderlands is very comedic. It can be made into a movie. I don't. That's not a movie. That's not a game I can't see being into a movie. I think it's just the movie just came too late. This is something that should have been out before we saw video game movies like Super Mario and shit like that, you know?
So you think it's a timing issue? Because like the main criticism I've seen from Borderlands fans, I haven't seen the movie, and I'm not a big player of Borderlands, but people seem to have issues with the changes they've made to certain characters and certain plot points in the movie versus the game. So there seemed to be a lot of like Hollywoodification where, you know, Hollywood tries to like adjust content like to fit because they know movies better. You know, they do it all the time with stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Case in point, Super Mario Brothers movie, the original one. You know what I mean? They will Hollywoodify it because they think that they know how to translate it. And I think that like I said, that's what I'm hearing is the big like takeaway was like it did not do just visually like it looked like Borderlands to me, right? And I mean it's directed by Eli Roth. Like I mean, so it's like it has a seemingly capable director, and a really good cast. Like on paper, that cast looks really good.
It looks good,
and in costume, that cast looks really good, right? But yeah, I think that story. But again, I don't know. I'm not as connected with the story, but that seems to be something I heard a lot. That there were major story and casting issues that didn't fit with the characters. So
yeah, I mean, I think that's what I heard as well.
Yeah, I haven't read deeply into the reviews personally. I just thought that ultimately, only because I don't want to spoil it for myself, I do eventually want to see this, and I kind of want to go into it with a unbiased opinion about it. But
right.
yeah, I just felt like overall, it seemed like the movie like it looks like it's shot well. It seemed the cast is good. So I'm just like, you know, why did it bomb so bad? And I just think that overall, before even reviews came out about it and people knew about it, right? There was very little hype about the movie in general. That's why I'm going off of that. Like when I heard that the Borderlands movie had the trailer had came out, I was kind of like, meh, I really don't give a shit. And like it was to a point where I didn't even know the movie came out until I saw the reviews had came out for it. And I was like, yeah, it just didn't hit my radar. And there's a lot of people I know that didn't know it hit their radar. They didn't know the movie was coming out.
I mean, it probably did hit your radar, but in a bad way after it came out. You know what I mean? Like it was, and I think you're right. You kind of did nail it with your earlier point. This movie's 10 years too late because you're right. The IP does not resonate currently. Like if this was the Fortnite movie, like this would be making bank. I'm sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or the fucking Roblox movie. This would be. Yeah, but you're right. Borderlands, and it just goes to show another reminder that we here are very old and slowly dying as we you know creep ever closer to death.
Yeah, but this movie should have been one of those
tax write-off movies.
Should have. Yeah, they should have fucking canceled this fucking thing and not that Looney Tunes movie we never got.
Yeah.
Or Batgirl.
But I think, man, dude, you're about to say something. I think I was about to agree with you. What you're about to say. Like this movie was
I'm sorry.
But this movie was for us. This is a movie made for us.
Oh yeah, like because right now, you know, there isn't another Borderlands coming out, right? There isn't another Borderlands related media that I can think of that's hitting recently. So it's like, who is this movie made for, right? So that's why, again, like the argument of just it's too late. This movie came way too late. You know, and maybe if they had like a good series or something, that could have hit a little differently. But then it's like at that point, what if they would have had a good movie? So yeah, I don't know.
And I think that's fair too. What you just said, Bandito just said about it being a series versus a movie, that could have been really. I think that could have did a lot better.
Yeah.
Series
I mean,
would have been
more
better,
time.
Especially with the success of Fallout. Like, I mean, coming off of like that.
Yeah.
But you said this is something they've been sitting on, right? So as a
Yeah,
difference.
I really don't think. Yeah, this is one of the great examples of them just not knowing how to, like, just because it exists doesn't mean that it can be adapted. And I'm sure, like, I mean, in the right hands, the right. I don't know. We'd have to see the movie. I'm sure the script is bad. I'm sure. Yeah, it seems like it has a lot of problems. I don't know where exactly, but like I said, in a trailer perspective, it looks like it's fine. But I guess like it has its problems.
For me, like the trailer seemed miscast to me. I don't know why. I didn't see, like, I don't know, because I'm not a huge Borderlands lore person. I feel like there is probably a lot of good lore and stuff that you could get into with Borderlands. But it just like seeing Kevin Hart, Kate Blanchett, like those actors.
Work.
Like, again, it's still great. Still great actors. Just it didn't seem like
really
these people were right for the Borderlands.
Really
movie.
quick and related to this topic, and I don't think we talked about it. The Halo TV series has officially been canceled at Paramount.
I want to talk about that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, queuing up to, like, we just talked about, would it work better as a TV show? Not necessarily. Like, I think it's we have shows like Fallout, we have shows like The Last of Us, and movies like the Super Mario Brothers. I think it's how they're treated, and I think all those properties were specifically treated with, like, the Neil Druckmann was on set with The Last of Us. Miyamoto was heavily involved in Super Mario Brothers. You know what I mean? I forgot the dude who's Fallout guy at Bethesda.
Todd Howard. Yeah.
Todd Howard. Yeah, he was
Todd
up.
Howard,
he was up that production's ass. You know what I mean? And it could be a bad thing, in some cases. But like, that's why I'm scared. Like, if they ever make a Metal Gear project without
Kojima.
It's gonna be a hot fucking mess. But yeah, so like, yeah, it's could go. I think it's just the content. Like, it's just probably didn't have the connection. Like, you get something that's this close to the fan base. Even like anime adaptations, you gotta like play it really carefully.
Yeah.
And just not you're throwing it on the big screen with some fancy effects and directors and Jamie Lee Curtis and Jack Black, and it's just not going to make up for shitty scripts and stuff. So
yeah, I think a lot of times a lot of this stuff has to be close to the source. Halo was veering way too off from the source material. It was a great concept and like the action showcasing the Spartans and so forth, but they were trying to do the Hollywoodification of something that already has a very long-standing lore, has novels behind it, and Hollywood needs to be a little bit more. They need to be careful. Like, gamers are not just we're not mindless people who are just like, oh, Halo is good, rah rah rah. Like, you like, stick to the story that we loved in the first place. And of course changes are going to happen just because of the medium that you're portraying this on, but you can't change the story drastically. And with with Kevin Hart, I just don't like. I see Kevin Hart, like, as far as like shows are concerned. I like Kevin Hart movies are
easy now.
Yeah, I'm being careful. I'm trying to be careful. Kevin Hart is not necessarily. I wouldn't see him in a Borderlands movie. Honestly, I don't see it. I know he's supposed to be the funny guy, but if you're gonna do that, then might as well throw The Rock in there too, and so forth. Like, it's just
I could totally see The Rock in this movie too.
Yeah, I could. That's what I'm saying.
Totally see The Rock in this movie as well.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's like
should have been that big muscle guy with the hand. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he could have been. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it is what it is. But I will watch this movie eventually. I'm glad for all the reviews that came out. I will watch this on streaming for a service I'm already paying for, as opposed to going out of my way and paying an extra $15 to go see this.
It'll be on Netflix in 2 weeks, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's gonna hit the streaming thing soon.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, so what's our next topic? I know we had a few that we want to knock out. What other ones did we have? Reddit.
I know we have 23, right?
Yeah. D23 was the
Let's talk about that.
The Disney, like, their kind of like convention for them to show their Disney properties. They showed a lot of stuff, but like related to us, there was like a lot of Marvel, Star Wars. I know we didn't. I put in the chat and I didn't even watch it. Mainly, I mean, like, this is a side effect of like just we're kind of reaching peak just oversaturation with some of these. There's a new the Jude Law Star Wars TV show had an official trailer drop. No one's talking about it, so we'll see what happens with that.
I don't even. Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
Like,
I haven't know it dropped.
I wasn't even aware.
I literally posted it in the chat, but I didn't even watch it myself. But
that's
like,
how
there was
little interest.
How you post something? He's like,
not
the guy that posted it didn't even want to watch it.
Yeah, right.
Not good.
That doesn't bode well.
I mean, okay, so like there's a lot of stuff to skip here, but the Marvel stuff, they showed the Daredevil Born Again trailer. They showed the what was it, Thunderbolts trailer, and you had Crimcast, you had seen the bootlegged. It's not officially out. Thunderbolts trailer.
Yeah, shut up. It's official. It's official. Yeah. So Bandito Mac had posted.
It is not official.
Bandito Mac posted a leak of the Thunderbolts trailer.
I see how you're
I didn't
shifting the blame.
Yeah, I'm moving the blame. I'm moving the blame over to Bandito.
Plausible deniability.
Yeah, you've identified the leaker, basically.
Pretty much.
Fucking Disney.
Yeah. Good job, Bandito. But no, like Bandito showed me on his phone where he had recorded the Thunderbolts leak.
He was there.
He was there, 100% confirmed. No, so the Thunderbolts leak, actually it wasn't bad. Honestly. I know Thunderbolts, we have talked about in the past. Thunderbolts is not a superhero team that is really about powers, right? It's not, from what the cast that has currently been configured or assembled, is not really a superpower laden, Avengers assembled type of cast. It is more of espionage, people with, superhumans, and there's some superpowers, but it's really on like a more on a sabotage level, espionage and so forth. I honestly was, when I watched the trailer, I was actually quite surprised of how interested I was in it. It didn't seem boring whatsoever. This does seem like a Avengers light situation, but more of happenstance. Like everybody's getting together because they're pretty much getting plotted to be fighting each other or plotted to kind of take each other out. There are some little teasers in there, which is kind of cool. I won't spoil it since it's not the official trailer that came out. That'll probably come out in a couple days. But it's interesting.
Just fucking put it out officially.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
I would
leave it out there. That's weird.
Well, I was expecting them to just put it out there. I was expecting them to just be like, okay, they show it at D23 or 24 or whatever, and then they put it out, an hour or two later, for everybody to see. They didn't do that, and that's fine. But yeah, I'm actually quite excited because all these different characters that we've seen from Hawkeye to Ant-Man, not the last one, but the one before that, Ant-Man 2. All these characters that we kind of forgotten about, they're just showing up now, and it's typical Marvel flair, right? They're bringing all these characters together to bring them into a bigger ensemble for a movie, and it's actually not bad. So when the official trailer come out, I would like to talk about it a little bit more, but since this is a kind of a leak, it's just like, okay, that's cool. But yeah, I did like the Thunderbolts.
It makes me excited for, like, your impression makes me excited for what could be potentially like a really good. And you're right, like they've the casting is like assembling all these like interesting casting decisions from villains from other movies and put them together. I think that's a good choice because they do have some interesting casting over the years. So I'm looking forward to it. What else did they showed more of the Captain America, which is going to be their 2 movies next year, right? So they showed that. They showed a little bit of some. They showed some scenes from Fantastic Four, It wasn't a lot, and it's not even worth talking about because they're just started filming that thing. Like I said, Daredevil is going to be. They gave it a date. It is March next year. Born Again, and Punisher is in it. Fucking what's the name? Wilson Fisk and Bullseye, I think, is going to be in it. So, and it seems like a lot of fans liked what they saw. Like, there's a lot of positivity that came out of D23. So I'm looking forward to some of these. They're a little far off, but some cool announcements. Big one for me was and I talked about it, like it's probably only going to be big for a few of us, but the soundtrack to Tron 3 is confirmed since Daft Punk broke up. It's going to be Trent Reznor, Natix Ross, Nine Inch Nails are going to do the music score soundtrack. So I'm very excited for that.
What is this, 2001? Holy shit. I mean,
hell yeah.
Yeah, Jesus, Grandpa.
Yeah, goodness gracious. I mean, make sure you have your insurer ready when you go to the movie theater. Goodness gracious.
I'm sure,
no,
like when they announced it, they did a cool like laser presentation, and I was like going, how many kids know that like the Nine Inch Nails logo? Like, how many kids even know what that is? You know what I mean? Like, or any of these people are?
No,
none of them.
No,
None of
no
them know.
care. No,
yeah, they don't give a shit.
Old ancient music to them, yeah.
Yeah, right.
But they've all heard the music in something they've recently watched. So, like, I mean, these guys.
But we've also heard like tunes from the 40s and Fallout. So
yeah, exactly.
True.
Really quick, I know we talked about Craven. They did a trailer for Craven.
Official.
Yeah, the official Red Band trailer. Yeah, this is a more violent trailer. Not I don't think anything. Yeah, nothing too crazy. But they do show that this is a
serious?
gorier.
This was a Red Band trailer?
Yeah, they're straight up.
Oh, so implying that the movie is rated R. Why the fuck would they? Why would they make this an R-rated movie? I feel like their only bread and butter is to try to get the PG-13 crowd in, and they made it R.
Deadpool, baby,
Deadpool, yeah.
But Deadpool has like a certain like you draw like to it that makes it unique.
Yeah. You're talking about the studio that released it's what's it called? Morbid Time or whatever.
Yeah, Morbid Time.
I was gonna say Madam Web. It's Morbid Time, yeah.
Or I mean,
Madam Web. Yes, thank you.
I apologize. I apologize. I forgot I was dealing with genius.
The Sinister Six is still about to happen, guys. There's gonna be a Scorpion movie that's gonna be coming out. They're doing it all. But we'll see. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. This trailer, I have to give it kudos. Whoever made this trailer did a much better job than the first person. Because the first trailer that came out, it was a typical like, hey, like I'm Craven, I have daddy issues, and I'm gonna fight my daddy, and that's it. And I got the blood of a lion inside of me. It was really corny. This one kind of it did seem a little bit edgier, honestly. There was a little bit more of a tease of the possible other bad guy in it, which was Rhino. It is not a guy in a mechanical suit like in the Spider-Man games of past and so forth. This looks like a guy that actually transforms into a humanoid rhino, which is kind of cool. And they showed a snippet of a fight scene for it. So, not saying I'm overly excited. I mean, I think I have the same level of excitement as I did for Morbius when it was first announced. Like, ooh, this is kind of cool. This is different. And then what we got was Morbid Time. So I'm
man.
I'm trying to keep the excitement back a little bit.
Remember when they re-released it because they thought the meme was gonna help their ticket sales?
Yeah. They got like $5 in sales.
They made no money.
One of the best reviews we've done on this show, I feel, I have most fondest memories, is the Madam Web review. So I look forward to our Craven discussion. I think it's going to be a good one for sure.
Yeah.
Are you guys familiar with Craven at all? I did a little research just to see like who this character was.
I remember him from the Spider-Man cartoons.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
And I read a few issues with him. I'll be honest, there were very few stories with Craven.
I mean, all right. So here's the thing.
Growing up.
he's cool. I mean, like the one comic, Kraven's Last Hunt, is probably the best one to read. But he's a cool character in the comic book, but translated out, like he's a little bit. And I haven't played Spider-Man 2, but he's the villain in the PlayStation Spider-Man 2, the new.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
Right. So he's a noticeable. He's a noticeable. He's an A-level Spider-Man villain.
Threat. Yeah, he's a threat to Spider-Man.
Notable
for sure.
character.
Yeah. I mean, don't mock him. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, once handled well.
It's just a goofy outfit, man.
I'm sure Sony will handle him well.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, it's just like, okay, so there's some scenes in the trailer where they kind of showing him running, and it's just like a man running and maybe trying to look a little primal, and it comes off a little weird to me. So I'm curious how they can sort of handle that character without, because they can't like beef him up like in the comics where he's like kind of this hulking, menacing figure at the same time, right? Because he looks like a underwear model, like. But
well, in the comics, he's just a very skilled hunter.
He's a stealth hunter.
Very skilled hunter.
In this movie, in the first trailer, they're implying like I think he got like lion blood went into his blood. And, like, kind of like HIV.
No, he got bitten by a lion, therefore he got the lion powers.
He got lion AIDS. He got lion AIDS, and then also
like lion AIDS gives him powers. I guess I don't know.
He's like,
well, I guess in the original comic, he got his powers from like a voodoo potion. So I guess they couldn't really go that route.
I don't remember how he got
time, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. But like there was a scene where he's being shot at with a minigun and he's just like outrunning it. Like
that's exactly what I want to talk about. Yeah, they're shooting at him at point blank range, and this motherfucker's like, he's like, I'm a lion.
Yeah, he's not running that fast. You know what I mean? Like. He's running fast, but not that fast.
The guy with the gun is also very slow. So
yes, that's the thing.
Unfortunately, was the slowest guy that got to the gun first somehow. Yeah. So
that's what
the system that it's on. Or something.
Yeah, like there's one scene like the guy is literally like pointing the gun at him, and he's just running on all fours.
He's like crawling.
Crawling. I'm like, what the fuck? And he ends up killing the guy, and I'm like, damn, that guy deserved to die for sure.
You get caught by that. Yeah, so like those scenes look really funky. I don't know. It's a hard sell for that look. I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
We'll see.
It's funny because we Only Toes had brought up in the chat talking about Rhino, and we're talking about lion AIDS, and then freaking Rhino. We don't know what Rhino got, but he definitely caught Rhino AIDS.
Yeah, and it seems like they're doing something in the story with that. Like I'm sure it's in the story. That's mixing the blood with the animals.
Yeah, which again goes to like fucking. This is not in the fucking comic, but Rhino like not like a Rhino man. He's a guy in a suit, and he can't get the suit off. Like this is like, and same with Kraven. Like they're doing shit again. Far be it from me to doubt Sony's wisdom on this. Like I'm sure they got bangers on their hands, but some of it just don't feel right. Sony, like I mean, surely we've learned our lesson from Adam Webb and Morbin Time, and
of course
all the others.
I mean, we obviously have learned our lesson. We are obviously. Sony, even though they're doing the last Venom movie and so forth, Morbin Time, Madam Web, they have learned their lesson, and they're going to make the most optimal Kraven that they can. Instead of a hulking character, they decided to do a underwear model like Bandito Max. I'm like.
And did I hear someone say that there might be some Kraven dong?
I believe that
there's Kraven Dong
in the movie.
He does. Yeah, that's actually he puts it out like a trap, and he makes a snare out of it, and then
it's like a lure.
Yeah,
for these horny bitches.
It's like now you have lion AIDS as well, so it's absolutely crazy.
You're gonna turn into a rhino.
Yeah, I bet you are. I'm gonna give you a big horn. But yeah, that's Kraven. What else? Oh, we talk about Fantastic Four Kraven. Yeah, I think that's everything for.
That's other shit, but not worth talking about. And I think, I mean, you had some. I think there was some Reddit news that got under Creamcast skin.
Okay.
Yeah.
So real quick. Reddit there is talks and possibility of them putting paywalls between subreddits. The reason why I'm curious in this and I want to talk about this is because I go I almost go on Reddit daily. And anytime you look up a question on Google or anything of the sort, Reddit is usually one of the top links in the first page of a Google search. And we know that 95% of people don't go past the first page. Reddit subreddits are good. I use them for everything from my job to entertainment to how am I the asshole subreddits and everything else. Watch subreddits and so forth. Reddit is awesome. Putting it behind a paywall is like almost like anti-Reddit in of itself. Like that's absolutely insane to me. Now Reddit has been free for its inception, right? And it has out survived other pages like that, informative pages and sub communities like that. Kiora was one of them that went to a semi paywall behind it. But it's still free to an extent, but there's paywalls as you dig deeper into it, and so forth. And it has outlived other Reddit pages or community pages in its entirety. So, I mean, Reddit has had a great run. I will give it that 110%. It's just like if they do paywalls, could they give a huge boost in revenue? Absolutely, right? It would make a lot of sense financially to do it. It just kills the spirit of the community, and it's kind of weird that they want to do that now, um, after so many years of it being free. But yeah, it kind of bothers me a little bit because it's like people don't like change, right? When a service comes out, the model comes out, that's what people expect. So when you change it, it kind of changes the dynamic of the website in its entirety, the culture of that. And at one point, Reddit did have when they were talking about doing the sub having a paywall and so forth, there was a huge backlash from the community, huge backlash. Um, that and the community didn't like it at all. They brought pages down. They said that we're not doing this. We're not, we're gonna close our communities down and blah blah, which would kill the traffic to Reddit in of itself. So the fact that Reddit is now following through with it, I mean, I guess it's something of a necessity. So I mean, I think that's just the nature of the internet. The bandwidth that Reddit pulls in, I think they pull in. I think they said, oh, I know for a fact they pull over think somewhere 10 million plus unique users a day, and that probably is a
Yeah.
low
Wow.
number. So, I
I
mean,
mean,
that's a
they
lot of
should
traffic.
find they should like this. It feels like they've run out of ways to monetize, and it's like this would be potentially would break their user base. You know what I mean? It would drive some of it away. So I mean, it seems like
Mhm.
I mean I'm not an avid Reddit user. Like I don't think you could avoid it. Like at some point you are, you know,
Yeah, you're
you you
gonna be in
you
it
you run
one way
across
or
Yeah.
Reddit.
another.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And searching
Right.
for anything, you'll come across it because that's where people are talking about what you want to know. Um,
Right.
so I guess like have they as a Reddit user, would you say that they've exhausted all revenue opportunities for like is there a Reddit Pro or something that they can make that they haven't done? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. They
extra.
have they have Reddit stuff where you can be uh 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 like a super user and so forth, and you can
Oh, and
buy
the likes, right?
tokens,
The little
Yeah, tokens.
icons that you
icons.
can use to like whatever.
Yeah,
Mhm.
avatars. You can like people
Oh,
and give
like
them
awards.
specials. Yeah,
Yeah.
wars and shit. So they've
Rewards,
done that.
yeah.
They do have ads on their main Reddit page. Now there are ads that do take the data from Reddit. Reddit is pretty open with their API. So they can take the data, put it onto Reddit feeds, and give it. There are other paid communities outside of Reddit that allows Reddit users to or Reddit developers or other app developers to pull the data from on Reddit, give it extra features, and pretty much make it a better experience and user experience for the average user. So there's stuff like that. Oh, and the original, I misspoke a little bit. The original reason why they the Reddit communities were venting or were boycotting Reddit because Reddit was going to charge for their API usage. So for you to be able to use their API, you had to pay money to do so, which a lot of people don't use the official Reddit app because they find it to be
Right.
kind of archaic and doesn't have all the nice features. So there's other app users that make ultra Reddit websites that allow Reddit to be more user friendly and have a lot more options. And also be ad free as well, which makes sense. Why Reddit is probably like, hey, these other communities are taking all our users and they're paying for a subscription. Why don't we just make Reddit behind a paywall? So it's like they did exhaust a lot of their options. So I see it. I can understand why they're doing it. I don't like it, but it is what it is. So, but yeah,
And it's not all of them too. So the report was just saying that they're reportedly planning on doing this for certain subreddits so far.
yes.
We're not sure which ones and like if they'll actually really go through with this yet. But yeah, there's also mentions too of them limiting their search results to only Google actually. So speaking of, you guys talking about searching and using Reddit at the end of it to see people's opinions. It looks like they may also be, limiting their search results to Google. Like they may have it seems like they may have a deal with them to just have access to Reddit, like the Reddit API or a certain certain set of data.
No, that
So
makes
that kind
sense.
of sucks.
It sucks,
Well,
and
because if you can only get it through, like you have to go through Google, right? If you want to see those Reddit details, and then now, since many people kind of know that trick, I feel like there has definitely been, bots that go in, update comments, or that will have paid comments that will have that basically advertisements, right? So if you search
yes,
in like, oh, what's a good router space Reddit, and then now you might have comments that are bots that are just giving you router advertisements,
yep.
So it looks organic, but it's not.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Well, yeah, and to just quickly wrap this up,
Yeah,
when in the conference
yeah.
that SquadCon, 2024, huge success. Get your tickets for next year. One of the speakers at SquadCon talked about this exact issue with Reddit is that Reddit right now is a great way to do SEO and get your search optimization up there to even if it's bot comments to push it up and people trust Reddit. Reddit is a trusted source for news.
Right.
So there's a router, you guys seen those like Cody boxes and things that like, oh, you can get every paid subscription with a flat fee of $400 and you get every subscription in the world and every blah blah blah. Those boxes are obviously 100% malware filled with threat actors and that data as soon as it connects to your network is automatically searching through your entire network trying to connect to devices, steal data, and send it to threat actors all across the world. And that could be a later talk for a more technical Blurred podcast. But the so the speaker was showing like these threat actors they are posing as fake Reddit accounts and like, hey man, this is so great, I love Reddit, I love this app, this is amazing, and it looks organic. They'll put common misspellings and so forth to pretend like they're a fake person or a real person, and it's be completely fake. So totally crazy the stuff that they do. And yeah, Reddit is it has a lot of bots in there. So I mean, a paywall it will deter people for all of 10 seconds and it's going to be back to the same. But I understand Reddit they have a huge operational cost. So at the end of the day, and I think they said Reddit maybe up to this point has not been profitable. I don't think it has been profitable since its inception. With the amount of
Wow.
data and users that has come to it. So I mean, that's just the truth of websites like this.
Just throw some unskippable ads in there and you're fine. Okay.
Well, like yeah, like what the previous CEO of YouTube, she passed, Susan
Yeah.
Wojcik, is it Wojcik? I think it's Wojcik.
Yeah, something
Uh,
like that.
but yeah, she passed, and she one of the things that she helped push was double ads on YouTube and so forth. But it gets revenue up.
Oh, thank you. Great.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's why everybody uh on news on her passing, people were like, "Oh man, take this L. You've been out ratioed and blah blah blah." It was pretty brutal.
Wow.
pretty brutal.
Well, it's the internet. What do you expect?
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, that's all about I care about for Reddit. So you can jump off of this shit. So you guys ready? I mean, we're about an hour in. You guys want to jump in? Batman. And this is a treat for you, for our Blrd listeners. Like usually we do Batman on BHM, Batman History Month in February. But this is Batman history, the justice just doesn't stop and at the end of February. It continues on. Yeah, until we're free, baby. So yeah, we got
BLM, baby.
BLM, Batman. Yeah, so I was gonna try to say something like use for the acronyms, but I'm not thinking correctly. But anyways, Batman Cape Crusader came out for Amazon Prime, what, 2 weeks ago?
Amazon Prime. Yeah.
A week ago or 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks, I think.
Yeah, 10 episode series. Yeah, so let's just go ahead and jump into it. Everybody's watched it, correct?
Yep.
Yeah,
man.
We've all watched it. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, this is
so it was like a nice, good like origin story, kind of looking at the beginnings of Batman and his beginnings, and some new origins.
New origin stories. This
reimaginings.
Reimaginings. Can I just say it's such a great. It's a pleasure to being with you guys on this episode because for once we've had an entire panel who has actually watched all the episodes of a series, and usually there's an outlier in this. I'm not gonna say who, but usually there's an outlier.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, we've all watched it, and that's unusual. Like normally it would be unusual, but
this is the norm now. Yeah. So, a complete. This is a reimagining of the origin story of Batman.
Well, so this series is it's a spiritual successor to the original animated series, right? So it's like
is it spiritual successor?
Yep, spiritual successor. It's from Bruce Timm, so it's from the same creator of the original series. And has a lot of very cool people associated with it. Like, I mean, Matt Reeves was involved in it. J.J. Abrams was involved in it. A lot of the writers are like comic book writers. Like, I was really, every time like the name popped up, I was like Ed Brubaker, some of these names. So like, and I felt it. I think like I liked it a lot. Like I think everyone here. I mean, Benny Domek, you're kind of like new to the. I don't know all of your thoughts and feelings, but Batman the Animated Series is near and dear to all of our hearts. Like for me, it's like that and the X-Men cartoon and the Spider-Man cartoons, like the basic building blocks of my childhood in many ways. You know what I mean? So, and I think the same goes for all of us. But Batman the Animated Series is like arguably. We've talked about like the praise for that series. It's a timeless work of art that's like it will be just as entertaining in 50 years as it was in the 90s when it came out, because they chose such a like timeless way. The Art Deco style, the animation is unique, and you know what I mean? Like, so
great stories, like timeless stories,
amazing stories, like fucking
some of them still relevant.
Still relevant. At good adaptations of comic books. They created Harley Quinn, so there's a lot of like cool things that came out of the original series. So yeah, this is like a spiritual successor, and like yes, there are a lot of vibes in this from the animated series, and there are a lot of like vibes from like further back. Like when I was a kid, I watched like the old Superman, the Fleischer Superman cartoons. Like
Dude, those were great.
Those are good. But remember when you were a kid, you could go to the dollar store and buy like a VHS of like old ass Looney Tunes and like old like out of date movies, like animated movies.
That's where the Batmans, or I'm sorry, the Supermans were in there.
Superman's
shitty wobbly music.
Yes. So this one has a lot of those vibes. Like you could tell, like that was a inspiration, or that era was a big inspiration for them. Like it's like I don't know if they outright say like it's the 1940s or 50s. I don't know if they date themselves, because like there's like a timelessness to the technology. Like he's not like in Batman the Animated Series, he's using computers, right? But the Art Deco style, like the cars are very like vintage and everything.
40s, 50s,
yeah, and like so there's like a very cool combination of technology in the original series. In this, they've went out of their way to make sure like everything is like specifically tied to the 40s or 50s, or the phones are like the little like you have to move the dials, and everyone's listening to radio, no one's using a computer or television. So everything's specific to literally the first appearance of Batman. Like the same, even his like costume is close to the like he's just missing the purple gloves. But it's I liked it a lot. Like I loved certain episodes, and it gave me a like I binged the whole damn thing really quickly. Because I get it didn't feel as long. Like there were 22-minute episodes, and it didn't feel like it felt like there were 15-minute episodes for me, because they had a very good pace. And I loved some of the decisions and choices they made. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I wanted to ask like how you guys felt just going through each episode, right? So like in our first episode, but I mean overall, I'm gonna echo like a lot of the same sentiments that you had for sure. Definitely felt a lot of TAS vibes, like animated series vibes, but also not trying to hold it to that standard exactly, or obviously, because it's like it's not gonna hit the same naturally, but still, I feel like it held its own pretty well. I felt like, which I want to get into in some of these episodes. So like episode 1, right? We meet the Penguin, like this new version of the Penguin. Like similar in some ways, but you know
what's new about the Penguin, Bandito Mac?
Oh, what's brand new? Well, let me tell you,
the hat
looked
now pretty cool. The new hat.
New hat?
Was it a new hat?
Yeah,
it was a hat. It was 100% the hat. That's
was
it the way that a singer now, right? So they're doing
a singer.
Was the old? I don't know if Penguin did that. Was he like a Sinatra style singer? I don't remember if he did that.
Sure, he's a crooner.
Yeah. But this one now a little bit more sexy.
Hmm?
A little bit more.
Obviously,
I don't want to say sexy, maybe, but just more feminine. Okay,
maybe. Did they? Are you trying to say they gender swapped
the penguins?
Wait.
Seemed a little taller.
I never have
a little taller. Yeah.
Okay. What are the pronouns of this particular villain? I feel like we need to
penguin.
know.
She, her,
penguin, and mom.
Penguin.
Mom. Yes.
Yeah.
She, her,
Mother.
and mom.
They, them. They, them.
Nah, no they, them's there.
I know I know where somewhere out there, the Ed Underground is screaming at the top of his lungs.
He is fuming right now.
Yeah, somewhere out there,
I gotta agree.
He had to pull over.
Underground. They castrated Batman.
Oh my god!
Oh,
our boy.
Yeah. Okay. At least. Okay. So we do have it here in spirit. Thank you.
Right. But also, okay. Well, since we're talking, let's get all these out of the way. So we have the Penguin, who is now Mrs. Penguin. Okay,
Mrs. Penguin,
mother of 2 beautiful mobster children.
Yes.
And also we have our new but old Commissioner Gordon, who is now a brother. And
wait,
that's
what?
That's not new, but that's not new. Though.
What?
Oh, I'm sorry. He's always been a brother.
Wait.
No. He's a brother in the Batman. So they're late to the game on that one.
Oh, he was. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Barbara Gordon, though.
Forgot about him. And
yeah.
I completely forgot. But yes, also.
I don't know about this.
Gordon. Barbie. She's also black. Naturally.
Good lord.
Then who?
You said who?
Barbara Gordon.
You said Barbie. I was like, okay.
Barbie.
Yeah, Barbara Gordon. Yeah, well, that's natural. I mean, he's a black man, so I mean,
yeah,
that'd be kind of weird.
A mixed baby.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean,
Ed Underground in the chat in all caps, and she killed her own. What the fuck does that mean?
And she killed her own. Oh, talking about the end.
Penguin.
Penguin.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, huge spoilers. By the way.
Oh,
huge spoilers.
I'm sorry. Yeah, huge spoilers. Yes. So we're gonna talk about the show. But yeah, so first episode, we meet the Penguin. We meet the new Barbara, new Gordon. But I mean, obviously, nothing really story related different from this, except for Penguin now obviously has children. But we set up the Penguin's gang, like in their relationship with Thorne's gang, and we see Batman coming out still a rookie, and he sort of like blows the first mission, right? Like
I
he
love
doesn't
that
really
shit.
save the
I've
day.
talked about it somewhere. I love when Batman fucks up. It's good
he
shit.
Gets zinged. Yeah, I loved this version of Bruce Wayne as well. I thought he was like really funny. I don't know if you remember. So in this episode, he made this goofy joke where he had come from the water because he was overboard in the yacht. And he comes up.
Yes,
he's like,
that was funny.
At a yacht party until someone falls overboard. And
Yeah.
Barbie's like, okay, whatever. And he just says the same joke again.
Yeah,
he's like such a fucking goof. He's like such a goofball. I fucking love it.
Well, it's like he's got canned lines, like his like his Bruce Wayne persona. He's got like canned interactions. And it was really funny. Like it was a good.
I love that.
Bit.
Yeah.
What was the other thing I was gonna?
What do you guys think about Harley Quinn?
Yeah, can we talk about one of the biggest changes? Harley Quinzel, and she is.
Wait. I mean, real quick here before we get. I mean, related to Harley Quinzel here.
I was trying to get to that point.
Well, hold on now. There's a certain taste of thickness in certain characters. Montoya thick. Harley Quinn thick.
Well, no. There's different types of thick.
Alfred Pennyworth thick. I mean, and I'm not hating
what happened to Alfred.
He let himself go.
Is he eating fucking Bruce's portions too? What's going on?
He's like,
I think it's based on like one of the earlier versions of Alfred. So like I think there was a fatter version of Alfred than the young trim version that we've noticed. So
but the thing is, well, you're talking about thick, right? Every character is thick in different ways, right? Montoya is thick, she's thick in the shoulders. Like her shoulder, like I don't know what her tailor. She's like, fuck up my shoulder pads.
The double,
they're like
football player.
Yeah, she's like, make me. I want suits that make me look like a linebacker. Then you got Harley Quinzel, who's thick in the thighs. She's super thick.
Yeah.
And then you got Alfred, who's just thick in the tummy, and underneath his neck, he's a little thick there. But
I'm just want to say, I wasn't hating the thick. I was taking notes of thick. I was like,
they all about body positivity on this. And then they changed the story a little bit with Harley. Harley has a love interest, and it's not the J Man. It's the
Montoya, and not Poison Ivy this time either.
Not Poison Ivy,
because it must be it must be another man, right?
You will be so confused, sir. She is
it's 2024, bud.
2024. Like, she's criminally insane. We know what type of people are criminally insane.
Yeah, in the 40s especially.
Yeah, the 40s.
Lock her up.
Harley and Montoya are lesbians, and they go on dates. They're making out.
Man's name though.
No, she's built like a linebacker. She's fine.
No, it's her last name, Montoya.
Renee. Yeah, Renee is her first.
Yeah.
But that's not possible too. Women can marry each other.
Not in the 40s.
All right. Yeah, it's true.
What's going on?
Technically, he's accurate in the 40s. They better keep that on the hush hush. They were very public. They were very public.
But that's honestly, that's a change.
Were then advanced.
Hold on, can we just say, like, what is your guys' opinion? Like, there's a lot of politics on TV right now, right? And is it just me, or is Commissioner Gordon soft on crime? Like, I want him out of here. He is soft on crime. He is being overrun in his own town. I didn't like.
He's letting his guys push him over.
You guys, you guys are full of shit. No,
the two crooks.
Flask and Bullock.
But he knows that they're crooked. He knows that they're crooked. This is typical Batman. No, you guys. I think you guys are forgetting about the anime series. You guys are forgetting about the New Adventures of Batman.
They weren't
Gordon
in the original series though when they were being crooks.
In the animated series, he was respected commissioner of Gotham City. The police department was under his control.
They were still corrupt as all hell, but they still, did it like
in the comics.
You guys are saying
butts.
Yeah, you're saying
comics. Okay. In the comics, early Batman, they're technically correct. The early Gotham City Police Department is super corrupt when Batman is first there, and Batman has an influence on Jim Gordon, and Jim Gordon has an influence on the police department, has an influence on the city, right? Yes. So, but he is already commissioner. My problem is he's not Captain Gordon, right?
He's not Captain.
It should be Commissioner Loeb. It should be, one of the commissioners that allow this Gotham City to become like overrun with criminals and the police department to become corrupted. And then Batman, Harvey Dent, and Jim Gordon like push that corruption out, slowly. But in this, I was like, he's already commissioner. He's had the job. Soft on crime. Trump was right. It's like fucking migrants are probably all over the city, busloads.
Shit. And you just want. I'm not gonna lie.
You just pouring in from Metropolis all the time.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Darkseid, you had me for a second, and then you took an absolute nosedive into like conspiracy theories and shit. Okay. So we first off, we know this is a reimagining, right? So yes, while technically he's not the Captain Gordon, where the at the highest point of the police, Gotham police, corruption was happening. He's Commissioner Gordon. He's still facing this. He's going through the election, as we see every single time. Harvey is either the DA or is going through trying to become mayor. This is not a new storyline. So at this point, so at this time, we can see like, yeah, he's a commissioner, but he's getting forced to do things based on the merit, as it would be in real life. But the problem is that, like, I think, well, first off, Green Tuner was like, well, yeah, in the animated series there was corruption, but no, don't put but to it. It's the same story. It's the same story as the Batman animated series.
It's the same thing. Like
it's not as bad. It's not as bad
in the open. That's what I'm saying. There's like levels. It takes away from the, let's say, from the being believable, right? It's like you're gonna go up to your boss and just start fucking talking back to him all the time and everything, and it's just fan and dandy. Most corrupt things always, even if the chief is like clean, they always do it like it's a subtle thing when you're corrupt. You don't just fucking do it right in front of your boss who's goody two shoes.
Well, I get what you're saying. Like it's like the opposite of like buddy cop movie where it's the bad guys are the buddy cops and they're like, Commissioner, we're gonna do what we want. We're just trying to help out. When they just fuck everything up, and everybody knows they're the corrupt bad guys. I'm just saying, like, this was more of an exaggeration from the animated show, from the previous animated shows, and that's the only thing I would give it. But is it comical at times? Like how
it's a
evil
show.
Yeah, it's comical. Yeah, I mean,
it's comically evil. It's like they made him like way too evil.
Yeah, they're way too evil.
They set it up in the first episode too, right? Where like I think we already said that, but yeah, they set it up to where it made Flash and Bullock look like good guys. So in politics, right, the mayor's like these two are the guys because they look good because they were in the paper or whatever. So that was them trying to give them their credence of like, okay, this is how they're able to kind of do what they want, even though it's like right in people's faces or whatever. But also Commissioner Gordon's hands are tied because he wants to do what the mayor says, right?
Yes.
Or else he'll get pushed out because he wants to retire, right? He wants to keep his job until he can leave.
Exactly.
But yeah, I don't know. It's goofy, but yeah, there were goofy cops all over, right? And it was like pretty obvious.
But it does make him at least the least effective Commissioner Gordon.
Soft on crime. Soft on crime.
Yeah. At least we can agree that
it's early. It's early days, right? You got it. Like they're cleaning it up.
His direct employees don't even respect him.
But this is like, think of it like this is like year one Batman. Like this guy, he's still learning, and Commissioner Gordon, even though.
They made him look like he's
Commissioner
50 or 60.
Commissioner
What
No,
is
Gordon
he
this?
needs
is not
Yeah, they did make
He's
him
help.
look
not
older.
He
learning.
needs help.
Yeah.
No,
Commissioner needs help.
I'm
He has
talking about
everyone
Batman.
under him is working against him, right?
Oh, Batman.
Sleep,
Okay,
Yeah.
I was
Sleepy
thinking about
Jim,
Commissioner
Sleepy
Gordon.
Jim, sleep on the job.
Yes.
Okay, well, see, then what happens, right? You want Flash and Bullock in charge, and now you got
And then,
full-on
anyways, I
fucking
think
corruption.
Sleepy Jim is Indian, or at least he was Indian last time. He
Oh God.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
Anyway,
Well,
listen,
we don't.
I want to get
Barbara
back.
Gordon. Barbara Gordon's definitely. We don't know what Barbara Gordon is.
Yeah,
for
we don't know
sure.
what she is. But
Yeah.
getting back to Harley Quinn, her introduction, right, was pretty. I felt like that was
Yeah.
pretty dope. She was
Yeah.
Batman's therapist or Bruce Wayne's therapist initially,
Yes.
and then she's into like tickle torture. What? What is
Yeah.
happening
What?
here?
Like sign me
I
up.
thought they were mixing her. Yeah, I thought they were mixing her with the Joker or something at first, but
Yeah.
it was just kind of like her thing, and then I like that it sort of sets up this idea of, okay, here's why there are so many costume weirdos out there now, because she went and did all of that torturing on all those dudes, right? Like kind of
Yes.
made them go crazy and shit. And then in order to catch Batman, when they were profiling him, she came up with a profile, oh, he only likes costume weirdos. And so now she released all those crazy dudes that she was having hostage in that one episode. And so, not to say like they might become like bigger villains later on.
Big baby man. Like
Yeah, right,
big baby.
Yeah.
But it's like, it kind of sets up maybe there were people before, but like here's why there are these fucking weirdos in Gotham in the first place. Right?
I really like. I mean, this is a interpretation of Harley Quinn created by the person who had a hand in creating Harley Quinn the first time, and this is one of the first that I can think of a really good use of her original talents as a therapist. Like, I mean, she doesn't really get to use that ability as a therapist when she's the Harley we know. She's just kind of a liberated version of that, where she broke away from that life. You know what I mean? But in this, it's
she's
like
just like a
tilted in the other direction.
Machine.
Yeah, like she captured the how to use therapy against as a crime, as a tool to manipulate people. Yeah, it was really a nice version of Harley Quinn. I thought it was a refreshing take on this character.
Definitely much more interesting, or not more interesting, but definitely an interesting take. Much more like intelligent, seeming like, because Harley Quinn is supposed to be pretty smart, right? Because she was a licensed therapist before she went crazy. So I
guys,
definitely dug that.
sorry, she's a psychiatrist, not a therapist. Just want to let you guys know that there is a difference.
All right,
You fucking morons. First off, she is a psychiatrist, so she is dealing with the mentally insane. All right, and I did love that. I did love her story. I'm not gonna lie. I think this was kind of a cool way to, because we always hear about her talking to the Joker, right? And she kind of goes crazy from there. But this was this is one of the first ones where we see her kind of being in charge and being responsible for the costume bad guys, like you were saying, Bandito. Now, I think that was really cool that they gave her a little bit of a highlight in doing so, and removed her and kind of removed her from Joker. I don't like. I think the whole Joker and Harley thing is starting to get old. Like, okay, we get they're a criminal love duo, but Harley in and of herself is very interesting, and I think they utilized her well, especially because the fact that they made her actually sane during this, right? Where she could have a normal life and have like a double persona where she has Harley Quinzel and then Harley Quinn on the other side. And I really like that. I thought that was pretty cool. Wasn't really feeling the lesbian love story though, only because I was just like, that's kind of, it's not. I don't care about it being lesbian. It's just like it wasn't needed. Like none of the other well, I don't say none. Clayface even had a love story too.
Clayface
So I guess
was really done
I
well.
I loved Clayface. I think he was the best bad guy out of all of them.
No. I lost it when they showed onomatopoeia. Like, he is a character, he's a villain that was like, I've been waiting to see him.
Oh my lord.
Brought to life. And they
my fucking eyes rolled so hard to the back of my head when I saw onomatopoeia. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like the lamest fucking character they brought in.
I like onomatopoeia, and I think
I hate onomatopoeia.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought he was like it wasn't the best use of him, but I liked him in the limited capacity that he was used in, and I love his look. Like
His look is cool.
I'm not a big fan of his comic book look, but this 40s look he has, I really liked it.
But that's a typical look though. I mean, so it's not
he's got more like doesn't he have like orange in his costume? The first
time
in
like the original one,
I thought he was always black.
Let me see.
I don't know. I mean,
but it was cool. It was
fucking winding gyre a long time ago.
No, but it was a surprise.
Forever. I just remember when he was wearing the wooden mask before he revealed to be onomatopoeia.
Oh, see, I don't know.
It's pretty close.
Yeah,
it's pretty close. Yeah, it's all black.
Black.
Again, it's been a while since did they ever finish that run, the Winding Gyre?
Yes, it's finished.
It was finished?
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh Lord, that took forever. I remember leaving at issue 2 because it had been like years since like the last chapter.
I'll let you know. I honestly, I'm assuming it's been a long time. You're right. But no, that was cool. There was a. What do you guys think of the Gentleman Ghost episode? You hated it?
I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. What I'll say is I did. It was kind of disjointed, and this is the only thing my major critique of this series. Every episode, except for the last 2, felt kind of disjointed with each bad guy. Right, there was not really a lot of carryover from each one, and like the setup. Each episode is 20-some minutes, and it felt a little quick of like setting up each bad.
Of the week.
Yeah, and it's like they kept like showing these major characters back to back to back to back, and it's like I get it. I mean, we're not gonna get the same thing like how we got with like the anime series and so forth, but
that's the way the animated series was. Like it was.
I know.
So maybe it has that, and there's also usually like a storyline weaved in behind. So like this one had an undercurrent of like the political theme of Harvey trying to become mayor, right?
Yeah,
so, like, that's the whole background story. But it's every other story. The main story was kind of like week to week up until like the very end. Those last 2 episodes kind of round out Harvey's whole thing. But yeah, that's how that's how the animated series was as well. But they did have like longer arcs eventually, like later on, especially.
That's what I'm thinking of. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I
believe.
Yeah, I want kind of a longer arc with this, and I wish they had focus. And this kind of seemed like that's what's being teased for 2nd season, which is kind of cool. I really kind of want to see that.
How
many
episodes were like on the old season?
I mean, it kind of like
per season, because I remember before like a season would be like 20 episodes or something.
I felt like it was a lot of episodes.
No, 20 episodes is something we like. No, it was syndicated cartoon, so the first season was like 50, 60 episodes.
50. So they had more of a chance to like flesh out storylines that they did in these 10 episodes from Prime.
Sure.
So that's also
that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. The cool thing I did like about the Ghost episode was that it did bring the occult to the Batman series, which I thought was kind of cool.
It was cool because it opens to Solomon Grundy.
Yes.
But Brother Midnight.
Oh, Brother Midnight. Yes.
Fucking Constantine from
Constantine. Yes.
So
so that was the cool thing. That's the cool thing. That's what I'm saying. Like cool. Bringing the occult into the Batman world, especially as an initial detective. But I kind of felt like it was misplaced at the same time because you got all these street level villains that are occurring, and then boom, you're getting not only the ghosts, then you're getting the vampire chick, and it's just kind of like it kind of was like misplaced.
Scooby-Doo, I'll be honest. I'm a Dreamcast in this. This shit felt like Scooby-Doo. It was like the little Scooby-Doo ghost, like an actual ghost. Because at the beginning, I'm like, what the fuck?
It's like how was doing that
guy
shit?
Pulling a Scooby-Doo trick with projectors.
I mean, that's part of the thing I liked about it. There is a undeniable like versus X-Men 97, where X-Men 97 is kind of leaning towards an adult audience again, like it knows its audience, where this one it leaned back into its like Saturday morning roots a little bit, like
it felt like Super Friends, that episode at least, the one with the ghost and like the team up with like the little
I'll agree,
like the little trinkets and stuff. I was like, all
right. I'll agree, but I think that's
like literally Batman had to turn to not his brains, not his cunning or anything, to magic to defeat the
which is
imagine.
but he does do that in the animated series too.
But the thing is, in the animated series, he does it at a later point where he's more established. This is the animated series is an older Batman who at least is like more grizzled with local crime, and then the occult stuff starts happening, or like the magic shit starts happening.
I don't know about that. I think the occult stuff's always been in there, but like I know what you're saying, but like
it's just not so.
It does feel
so
like
blatant.
Yeah,
it's
so
not blatant like
fast.
they're doing something bad. It's not just so out in the open.
It feels out of the ordinary because every episode has been grounded in some kind of reality.
Yes, they didn't warm you up. They should have warmed this up a little.
There was no warm up.
Full in one single episode.
Also, if you're like a guy who fights like fucking Rupert Thorne and like fucking Falcone, like, and your reality is like I punch criminals.
Call Constantine, call Zatanna, call one of those magicians. Let them take care of the ghost. Go fight the guy that's in the cold suit or whatever.
Yeah. Well, what I was gonna say is like how does that not change your worldview if you realize ghosts are real? Like does it melt your brain? Like I can't go back to doing what I fucking did.
I don't know if you remember, but I mean, this is not that Batman, but Batman will eventually fly into what's it called, the Justice League thing that is orbiting the planet. So seeing ghosts, I think, is the least of Batman's.
But the thing is that you never know. But the thing is like, there's no warm up, right? And like during that episode, he punches the ghost at one point and his hand freezes. I'm like, how the fuck is this guy doing this? Because remember he was in the train. He teleports out of the train, and then I'm like, well, he actually took money from these people. He actually hit these people. I'm like, how the fuck is he doing this?
How are they gonna explain that? Right?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden
what tech are they gonna use? To
this? And then he's actually a ghost, and I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, that was kind of weird. And as I said, like,
he does some stuff where like he doesn't lose any fingers from frostbite.
Or what he said, he's like, if you heat it up past 108 degrees, I'm gonna lose nerve sensation. And Alfred's like, bitch, I'm fat. I know what I'm doing. And he heats up his hand like it's no problem. But that's what I'm saying. Like the occult stuff just came out of left field. I wish they had built up to it, or at least or have something in the background. Ease it in a little bit. Like, hey, you can't just go in no lube.
Full ghost.
Full ghost. Like, I'm like,
episodes,
so that's what I think.
I know what you mean. Because like, it was like you're saying. They're trying to establish that early on, but it was like, okay, maybe that was too early. Maybe like
it's like
you really didn't need
one
that episode
yet. A fucking UFO comes down to Gotham, and the aliens start like duking it out with Batman. You'd be like, wait, hold on, what's going on? Batman was just fighting gangsters 2 episodes ago, and now he's fighting aliens.
But to be fair, I mean, like Darkseid said, this is a spiritual successor. While we don't, we're not.
I think that I was gonna say real quick that episode. I think it would have left a better taste in your mouth if, at the end of the episode, Batman was skeptical about whether or not what he encountered was a ghost or it was some kind of like deception from the ancestor, like the descendant of the like. I mean, I thought that it was going literally a Scooby-Doo type situation where like I thought it was going like. Yeah,
but the ancestor left. He dipped out too. He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here."
He's out of here.
So I was like,
I was like, "Where are you going? You gotta get in the costume."
Like, what's happening?
I think if they would have set it up also to where they would have left room for some skepticism for the viewer, where like they didn't, if they would not have shown him teleport out of the train, right? If he would have done something more believable, like something that makes you think, like, oh, okay, there is a plausible thing here. Because I don't. The other things he did, they were straight up like, only a ghost could do this.
I know, but like, I don't think they can do that because this is like we know that. Well, I mean, this is a character,
saying, like they should have made it
character, right? So like magic exists in like the DC universe. So know as the viewer that this is magic, but I think I agree that Batman should have taken it from a like skeptical. It's too early. He doesn't believe any of this stuff, and the ending should have been written more like like a wink to the audience, like, "Oh, was it real?" Like, wink, and then Scooby Doo eats a big sandwich. You know what I mean? Should have been something like that. Where I think you're right. Like Batman just like literally got the ghost killing powers, and he was like, "All right, ghost dead."
And he was so willing to accept it too.
He's
It's
like,
like,
what are you gonna do with this? You don't want to know.
All those criticisms aside, I still like that episode. But I think
No, it was a cool episode. But I think it's like, if they're gonna turn this Batman Cape Crusader to something to include like the Justice League later on, or hint at Justice League esque abilities,
I hope not.
Then I'm like, it makes sense. Or even like what we said, like what was the Doom that came to Gotham, where it's an older Batman, older set Batman going into the cult type stuff. Then it kind of makes sense. So, like if they touch into that a little bit, and I'm not saying necessarily Justice League itself, but if they start showing other members, like if they show a John Constantine. Now I'm like, okay, then they're trying to merge, these different DC IPs into one. I can kind of get behind it. If this is just going to be like Batman does Batman stuff, and then we're gonna sprinkle paranormal in there once in a while, I'm like, we could probably do without. And because like every other character that we've seen outside of Vampire Girl, which they did explain by science, which is still occult type stuff. But now they're going into like the big teaser at the end of episode 10 of the Joker. Like we're still dealing with street level villains throughout this entire series outside of those 2 episodes. So that's what I'm saying. Like, unless they're planning to do something bigger, which if they do something bigger, I will be excited for it. They could just left those episodes out and gave us other villains.
To be true to like what the inspiration of this series is, that early Golden Age Batman, the Golden Age Batman had a lot of like cult like stuff. Like that was kind of hot in comics at that time.
The first comic, he was actually against a cultist, I think, right?
Yeah, the Mad Monk.
Or no, the first couple, I think, the Mad Monk. Yeah, the one where
the Mad Monk
hung the guy by his neck from his bat plane and choked him to death.
Nice.
Yeah, there's like it's also like based in like some really racist like Asian mysticism and shit. Fucking Fu Manchu and shit. So I mean, without getting really racist with it, they have accurately captured that golden age where it would be like street level crime and crazy ass magic shit like happening. And that's the way the golden age shit worked. And eventually, in the silver age, you would have like Superman and space shit and Super Friend shit happening. So I think with this, it feels like it comes from a place that makes sense to me as a comic book reader, but as a watcher of the TV show, it did feel unusual, like that episode dropping in there. So I wish there was skepticism from Batman in there. I agree with you guys that it felt weird how he interpreted that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, absolutely. So, I mean, based on how'd you guys feel about the underlying plot, like Bandito Max said, with the politics and with Two-Face and so forth? How'd you guys feel of that conclusion, or the storyline in general, and the conclusion at the end? I mean, for myself, I felt like it was kind of weak a little bit, because of spoiler alerts. Two-Face dies. I felt like, damn, they kind of killed off. They kind of killed him off really.
Okay, I was wondering if
weird.
they did. I'm like, did he die? I kind of forgot what happened at the end.
Yeah, the implication is that
he died.
He gets shot. Yeah, he gets killed.
Is that he died saving Barbara. Right? So,
which
when they were chasing him in the docks, right?
Which is cool.
I forgot he died. I thought he lived.
Which is cool because it kind of works on Barbara. So you see in those last like 2 or 3 episodes, Barbara's mindset is starting to switch a little bit of how she looks at criminals. And initially how she looks at criminals like everybody needs a chance. And now she's seeing that, I think what they're trying to imply, possibly her becoming Batgirl, we'll see. But ultimately, her mindset is changing on criminals that maybe they need a little bit more justice than letting people get off due to technicalities.
You don't think she got? Oh well, I didn't get that. I thought that like Two-Face showed her that like they're redeemable. Like these people are are redeemable, like the ones
Yes.
she's trying to save.
Well,
So
I
it's not
think
so much like good.
no, I agree with you. I do think she
Oh.
thinks she's redeemable. But I think that because Harvey was not a friend,
Mm-hmm.
Harvey was just a coworker of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but he had went evil. But then at the end, he was redeemed. But the people that killed him was not redeemable. And I think she might be like, hey, Harvey was a good guy that made some bad mistakes. He was pushed to the edge. But the people that took him out aren't redeemable. Because at the very
Mm-hmm.
end, you see her kind of just standing there like you just see her back and she has this pose like, she's upset about him dying. So ultimately at the end of the day, I feel like she is turning into believing more in vigilantism. Like maybe not killing them, but maybe they need to pay some way, somehow.
But
And
like
we know she got
she starts to
hands.
agree with Batman.
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
starts
we
to agree
know.
with Batman, basically.
Yeah, because at one episode she talks about how Batman operates. I think it's like episode 7 or something like that. She's starting to before in the beginning series she was like anti Batman to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
now in later episodes she's like, I'll work with you. How are you gonna do blah blah blah? Why are you doing this and asking questions? I think she's starting to believe in what he does. And like I said, I don't think she's necessarily full on Batgirl at the moment, but I think she's working on it. And like I said,
I don't think they're gonna go in that direction. I think they're setting her up to be like the district attorney Harvey Dent fill-in for the Batman Jim Gordon,
com,
like the
com, trifecta.
trifecta.
Yeah.
So like I mean I think she like I the take I get from her is like yeah she is super driven for justice and everything, but I
Hmm.
think it will drive her more in the courtroom. I don't see it's possible, but I don't see this version of her getting into a costume and I think she views more her father's view of justice than Batman's view of justice. Now that could change, but I definitely see her more being driven in the courts of getting justice and utilizing Batman as a as a like a necessary evil in Gotham that they need to deal with, like coming to grips with that. But still, I don't see her putting on a costume.
Wait.
Obviously, she does in like the every version of her does.
Right.
So I also think she's like way older than Barbara Gordon has been in previous series. Like so,
Yeah.
she's a full grown adult woman with a adult ass job. So I think she has less to lose or she has more to
More to
lose
lose. I was
than
like, yeah, more to lose.
the teenage Barbara Gordon who just like sees Batman and you know is inspired to take justice in her own hands. I think this is more like she's going to do it in the courtroom. You know what I mean? As a partner for so like he catches
No,
him, she locks him up. I
I
can see that as
I can see that as well. That is that's a good theory as well. I mean overall I do like the way they did Barbara in this series. They gave her, I mean, this is probably the most spotlight she's ever gotten in the anime series. So I really do enjoy her dynamic with her father,
mm,
and just her role in the Cape Crusader overall.
mm,
Um, yeah, I hope that, and I'm really curious of what they're gonna do for the Joker for season 2. I mean, like I said, they put the teaser out there that obviously Joker is coming in. He seems a little bit more, just from the way that he sounds, it seems like he might be a little bit more of a serious threat.
mm,
Not a comic like like hey, I got little bombs and I'm placing around them, but I'm not a serious. This Joker seems like a movie level Joker where he is a serious threat.
mm,
Dark Knight Rises type shit, or Dark Knight, or
mm,
whatever, which one it was. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. Like I said, the story overall, I mean, it is definitely giving me anime series vibes for sure. Um, like I said, the pacing is a little weird to me. I
mm,
agree with the idea that these corrupt cops are almost, they're comical, and how much they disrespect Jim Gordon to his
mm,
face.
mm,
But I know Bandito, I see his point of, they can do that only because of the mayor, and Jim is kind of a puppet to the mayor. Um, Yeah, I think this series is not bad. I honestly think this is a pretty decent series.
What would you
Um,
give it?
if I had to give a score, I would
I'm
say
gonna
it's
give
a
a blurry.
Blurries,
blurry,
baby.
blurry,
Blurry Star, let's get this doing.
Give me
solid,
blurries.
solid 7.5. Um,
Oh,
yeah, I was like, and potentially an 8, 7.5, 8.
Yeah.
This is a good series. I think this is a series
mhm.
that has a lot of potential, and I can see it maturing over the next few seasons.
Yeah.
Um, even with all the
Yeah.
gender swapping and storyline reimagining of the storylines, I initially was going to roll my eyes at that because I was like, oh, they just made Batman woke. But I do like the fact, and I hate using that term, but I didn't want them to make a Batman a woke version of Batman just for the sake of it. Like if you're gonna do these alternate storylines from what we're used to and swapping out genders of characters,
Yeah.
make them good. And I did relatively enjoy all the changes that they made. So for a reimagining,
Mhm.
I thought this was not bad at all. Um, I'm looking forward to season 2 for sure, and I hope that the writing get just a little bit tuned up, just a little bit. Um, and the overall story, like if they're gonna do the individual stories like that, I'm cool with it. Just tune it up a little bit, and then the overarching story in the background, I think that's pretty solid. So yeah, 7.5 for me.
Mm.
Yeah. I
All
think
right.
yeah. I would give it a. All right. Do you want to go? I'll go. Because I'll give it a. I was gonna say give it a strong. Give it a strong 8. Probably I'm leaning towards a 9. But I really enjoyed it. I liked the writing. I understand the complaints about some of the pacing, but I feel like I also get the vision because they wanted to put out a lot. Like here's a sample of like what we're doing. Here's a lot of the characters, or like a look at some of the new characters. Um, and also I feel like there was a lot of good attention to detail. So there's one last one I want to point out, like because the episode 5, right? This is where we see Harley Quinn. One of the details I thought was really amazing was that if you were to watch it again, you would see that when Barbara Gordon is going down into Harley Quinn's establishment where where she's keeping the victims, you notice that she doesn't have shoes on, right? Because she's sneaking around. But they never really mentioned that or anything. But I was like, that's a really neat detail. And also
Oh.
the detail about having them release the weirdos out in town, and the having like them becoming like the costume villains, and then also that Harley knew the reason that Harley knew in that episode that they were onto her was because the detective Montoya showed up and questioned her butler, who at the time in the show her butler was just another client of Dr. Quinn as her like her being a therapist. But
Yeah.
then we learned later in the episode, oh, that's actually her butler. Right, and he kind of looks like more like Alfred I thought would have looked like, which I thought
Yeah.
was funny.
Yeah.
But the reason that they knew that was because of that detail. And but like again, they don't point that out in the show. But I feel like they do a lot of cool things like that. So that's why I really really think the show is amazing. So definitely look forward to more.
All right.
June.
Yeah, I'll give it a 6.5. I think it's a good show. I think it's exactly what Bandito said. They're just trying to give us a sampler. Just for me, the sampler was forgettable, to be honest. There's a lot of stuff I've forgotten, and I just watched this like last week, and a lot of that was like, I was remembering it because of this conversation. But maybe if they, I don't know, 6.5 for right now. Hopefully they flesh things out a little bit more next season.
Cool.
Yeah, no, I did. There's things like a lot of stuff, the details that you pointed out. I like. We forgot to mention, but I really liked it as well. Batman's relationship with Alfred. I like how that's evolving.
Yeah.
I really like that, where like how he treats him in the beginning and how he treats him in the end, and where he
Yes.
will eventually get to that relationship.
Right.
I thought that was like I like the
Yeah.
different. I like that they're going, and I want them to keep going in different directions than what we're
Yeah.
used to. I
Exploring those
like,
different dynamics.
yeah, like Harvey did. I didn't want him to live. Like I think like I know what that looks like. I don't want him to live. I like the take on Harley Quinn. I like the take on what we're assuming is Joker. I don't know if it is, but we're assuming. And
Seems like at least it's different.
Yeah, I like the different takes, and like I said, it's packaged in a very, for me, nostalgic, warm style. Like this animation is, I love it. You know what I mean? So like,
this animation is beautiful.
I'll agree with you.
I think this is probably some of the best.
It's some of the best. Like I said, it was just the stories. That's all, and I know why it is. Like I said, it's unfair to only get 10 seasons. You know what I mean?
10 episodes.
Compare against 50, or 10 episodes and compare it against 50 episodes. But unfortunately, that's what happened. So I'm like, maybe if they had cut out some of the episodes, like that voodoo episode, and they had more time to like flesh some more things out, maybe it would have been a little bit nicer, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's definitely not the perfect version of anything, but like for what it is, I really liked it. Like I said, it hits a lot of high notes for me. I mean, for me, it's like a 9. So I really liked it.
Yeah.
And I think that if they if they get into the groove of it and really embrace it and settle in, like they have in the animated series, like I look forward to season 2 and 3 when they're really established their characters and their like I could see that being something. This would be a really great series.
And this happens with a lot of shows too. The first season is usually kind of the weaker one because they have to introduce all the characters, let you know who's who, what they are, and it's always slow and it's always a slog to get through.
Yeah,
and usually
they get the writers get the feel of their own characters. You know what I mean? So, no, I'm really It's been a good year for animated projects. I think for this podcast for sure. So, I loved it.
Yeah, I think ultimately for me, like for Batman, I kind of want. I guess at this point, since we are at so many animated series, movies, and so forth, I kind of want an animated like Batman that that highlights one. They kind of did this with Harvey. I want them to really highlight one villain for the series and really like a season, like a whole season, really dedicated to one villain. And they kind of did that with Harvey, building him up with the background political stuff, and at the end comes Harvey Dent, and they gave him 2 episodes really, as Two-Face. So that's fine. And then I know they have to establish these characters, but I really wish they would like make this into like, well, you know how a lot of these stories go. I wish they would do something like a dedicated villain, and you can sprinkle in side villains. You know, we know Joker has done team ups in the past with other stuff, other villains, and so forth. I loved how they brought Clayface. Like, to me, Clayface was the best villain in this.
Clayface was probably the best villain. Yeah.
Yeah, and I really liked how they told his story. Clayface wasn't. I think Clayface was very well told, and it was kind of believable how he came about. So I actually really, really like that. I just really want them to really kind of highlight one big villain this season, and then sprinkle people in and make it into an overall story. Because even with like Ghost Guy, unless they pay it off in the future, there's really nothing that happens outside of that, unless they use, Papa Midnight as a major character later on for more occult stuff, and even like the vampire girl and so forth. And maybe they're building up to something like, a race, because race is a cult in of itself. Maybe
there you go.
I was like, maybe they're building up to that to make it more believable. But yeah, that's the only thing I kind of wish. Yeah. So, all right. Cool. All right. Do you guys have any other things you want to bring about, talk about with Batman, the Crusader, or are you guys good?
I was gonna do a very poorly done Joker impression out of Spirit of the Ed Underground, but but I think I'll spare you that.
You bitch.
Well.
Oh my goodness! What, Heath Ledger? Is he?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
What? He came back from the dead.
Dead. Whoa.
I'm Morbius.
Jared Leto came back from the dead too.
Oh my god!
There you go. Yeah, I could do all the Jokers, but
Yeah. Wow. I mean, a man of many
I just
talents.
wanna hurt
somewhere out there,
Really, really bad.
somewhere out,
Oh my god!
somewhere out there, the Ad Underground has pulled over, and he is doing the impression to nobody at all.
Yes.
No,
because he must do it.
He has to.
Is embroiled in a flame war with Only Toes on the chan. They've been going after each other.
Oh, but yeah, it has been
Yes,
wild.
okay, yes.
It has been wild.
Each other.
Yes. So
Only
for
Toes is come for blood, and Ed
Yes.
has met him.
Ed is literally on the defense right now. Only Toes is on the offense and is tearing the Ed Underground up. They are going after each other's family members. They're
nasty.
There's a lot of moms to talk about moms in here.
moms. There are
very
terms in here
unstable
about cucks and doms
Now-
and bulls, and I'm like, geez.
The longstanding theory the Ed Underground has had is that one of us is posing to be Only Toes. Now that is really outstanding. If one of us can stay on this podcast and also go one-on-one with Ed in the chat, I think at this point Ed understands now that the Only Toes is
it's someone else.
It's someone else.
Somebody alive human being.
It's a real live human being who is destroying you in the chat right now.
Yes, I mean, for the main character vibes, this is really, really upsetting because, I mean, this is ultimately looking bad on us. So, Ed Underground, please just wave the white flag, accept defeat, let Only Toes into the bedroom of a family member of yours, and and just be done with this, please. I can't see this one man slaughter that is happening. But for everybody else out there, thank you for coming out to the Blrd podcast. Once again, this is episode 134. You can catch us on all major podcasting platforms, also including twitch.tv/the Blrd podcast. This episode will be posted on our YouTube channel as well, so you can see our beautiful faces in video format at a later point in time. All right, until next time, we just wanted to tell y'all, blur you later, and good night.
Blur you later. Blur you later.
Blur you later.
All right, bye guys.